Millions of Australians booking holidays this summer are being urged to check cancellation fine print on short-term rental accommodation. There are no fixed rules on refunds, leaving some consumers out of pocket when lockdowns are implemented. Currently, companies including Airbnb and Stays let hosts pick from a range of terms and conditions, as Emilia Terzon reports.
In this quaint coastal town, short-term rentals are in peak demand over summer. Glenys Bibi is preparing the unit out the back of her house for guests.
Welcome to our Airbnb, Emilia.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
The Airbnb is the retiree's side hustle and it involves a lot of work.
Homemade jam. It gets a little annoying because we could go out for lunch and then I'm sitting on my phone answering emails. Since the start of COVID, we've had 76 cancellations, which equated to 194 nights.
Her cancellation policy is flexible.
Basically, everyone gets a refund up until 24 hours before check-in. With COVID, we abolished that 24 hours before check-in.
While some hosts like Glenys have full refund policies, even during COVID, there is no blanket rule from the company Airbnb. And that means that some hosts won't give you any of your money back, even if you have to cancel due to a border closure. Ross Matheson didn't pay much attention to his host's fine print before booking a cottage in August.
I hadn't realised that the host's cancellation policy was what you get, and there's no consumer law to override that.
Ross and his partner were caught out by a snap lockdown and received this from their host.
Ross, people are still coming up to the cottage, no need to cancel. I rather took exception to that suggestion, that we break the law just to keep our booking.
They never got their money back and have since cancelled their Airbnb account. The reason why some people are getting refunds and others aren't is because websites like Airbnb and their competitors Stays and Ripperide are third-party providers. And that means they just give their hosts cancellation policies to pick from, and then consumers are urged to read the fine print. Airbnb is worth $150 billion. It makes money from service fees when people make bookings.
What we find tricky in this situation is that Airbnb might take money for making the booking itself, but when it comes to actually mediating in the cancellation, they tend to take a step back,
leaving some hosts to chase refunds. Airbnb declined an interview and wouldn't say how much in service fees from cancelled bookings it's held on to during the pandemic. Its competitor Stays confirmed it's not refunding its fees. Some short-term rental providers are drawing a line. The company that manages this luxury villa and works in partnership with Airbnb doesn't offer automatic refunds for COVID cancellations. Instead, it offers customers a credit note and then charges them to reschedule their booking.
The majority of people that are holding credits now, they booked knowing that COVID was a thing, and they booked knowing what the COVID cancellation terms were.
The company manages 300 properties and has had to take on more staff to handle cancellations. It would like more regulation when it comes to refunds.
I would definitely support a blanket policy. I think it's really challenging for businesses to try to navigate these things themselves.
A challenge Australian consumer law regulators are trying to tackle.